Alright. We are returning to Tavern Talk, of course. A lot happened last time. We were in the final act. Fable has been missing. People are getting angry. And of course, you know, stresses and tensions are high because, we found out who the big bad is. We're trying to send off all of our friends to find out how to stop them and everything. And, like, things are going down. And we're kind of certain the apocalypse is upon us and everything else. And then not only that, the big bad, who happened to be an old friend of ours that we had a hand or a time in, you know, starting the shattering of the seals for the apocalypse or whatever. Like, big lore was dropped last time. Like, my gosh. But, I think that we will reach the finale, and then we should also be able to get into the DLC, Tempest Tantrum. So that should be exciting. But enough yapping about me. Let's just go ahead and get into it. Get it going. Let me see. I think that was it. Yeah, just right here. Yeah, this is right after Dude came to visit us last time. So, we will see. The Wheel of Fortune. Sheep! Belly! Archie! Good morning, Innkeeper. Good morning. How's your research going? Well, we did a lot of it. That sounds good? Yes. I can smell a breakthrough right around the corner. Are you writing that down, Archie? What? No, of course not. No notes are being taken here, none. Archie, I told you already. I might be the bestest detective in Fasoa, and this might be the meeting of a lifetime. But the investigation has to come first. How are you going to have time to write a book about my detective career if the world ends in a few days? True. I mean, it won't, obviously. Because our friends are super strong and awesome, and we're super smart and awesome. But we should still focus on backing them up. I'm sorry. Seems I can't help gather material, even now. You're a very impressive detective, and... I fear what will happen if I stop thinking about my books. Is this what I think it is, Detective Melina? I'm afraid it is. Excuse me? It's a severe case of the nerves. Quick, Innkeeper, we need a remedy. Only your most revitalizing drink will do. Does the patient agree with their prescription? Really, it's not that serious. Thank you. Perhaps a cure that'll boost my toughness is just what I need. On it, Patient Zero. Alright. Let's see. Okay, also we did get visited by Quincy last time, and he gave us our he gave us our recipe for hot chocolate. And just a good, motivating, inspiring conversation. Like, he's so charming. Alright. We also got the last whisper, which is kinda sus. Kinda sus. Let me see. Sure. We'll go with the steel tonic. Since it's majority defense. Then... don't need any charisma. Pet undo. Oh! I need to connect it. Hold. Hold on. Hold on. There we go. Here we go. Remember, that is the command. So you guys should just be able to pet undo from now on. While I'm just back here making drinks. I think this one should work. Is it pepper? Pepper. And then we need a little bit of agility. Agility, need attack. And and 2 things of defense. There we go. Steel tonic. There we go. Well, I went to pet him, but that's okay. He still got pet. That's what matters. Alright. Ding ding. May this drink not be one of your tougher challenges. This is excellent. I could write a novella about the superb taste alone. I really appreciate the effort to cheer me up. I suppose I've been worrying more than I realize. How can I repay? Repay, Rishme. You shouldn't just bear your worries silently. I would accept an update on your research as compensation. Certainly, we are happy to oblige. I thought my knowledge of tales and myths could serve us well in identifying another weapon to slay evil. So I questioned as many scholars and turned as many pages as I could. That sounds exciting. It might have been, if I had managed to find even a hint of anything useful. Extralaberry is nothing but a legend. The lance of Lowignus might be real, but it proved impossible to trace its location. And don't even get me started on the history of the sword Balmer. My research ended in total failure. Don't say that. We wouldn't know that there are any other weapons if you hadn't looked. It just means we have to move our research focus or something else now. Like my investigation. Oh? Like I mentioned the other day, I really wanted to look into who this weird bad guy really is. With a plan like his, he can't just be some random nobody. His plan does have a certain je ne sais quoi. Je ne sais quoi. It's just so mustache-twirlingly malicious. I bet he has a mustache. I think he did. In any case, he must have left some traces that we can follow. And if we can figure out his real identity, we'll know his mortal weakness. Like a lover? Exactly! Once we know their identity, we can find them and... Wait, no! I don't condone kidnapping! Maybe we could just... tell them all about this evil stuff this guy is doing. They could give him a really long lecture. Okay, maybe that isn't the best idea. Still, Carolyn always says the more you know about your opponent, the easier the victory. But this guy's like a ghost. No one has seen hide nor hair of him before all this started. And here I thought armor like that would have made him super recognizable, with the flowers and all. I did look up what some of them mean, the ones Clay was able to identify. They're petunias and marigolds, which symbolize resentment, grief, anger, and mourning. So that told me absolutely nothing. Besides that he's a big guy with some big feelings about the world, duh. Then I got an idea. What about the other well-known necromancers? Maybe we have a repeat offender on our hands. No one really seems to fit, though. I was really, really close to ripping my fur out. But then I remembered all the stuff about the sigils. There actually was a necromancer that died when the portals opened. So I dug that file out of my pile, and yes! If the creation of the portals broke a sigil, then that can't just be a coincidence. Therefore, this necromancer from back then must have faked their death and rebranded themselves as the mustache-twirling, green-armored bad guy that we're facing now. Shouldn't you be doing the pointing thing now? I'm just not feeling it, Innkeeper. I know it doesn't add up, okay? I'm sorry, Archie. This isn't the revelation of truth that it should be. When you write your book, the detective should definitely be pointing at something. Pointing! Yes, I'll write that down. Good. Oh. Ooh, Melly's angry. I can't believe I couldn't find anything. Who taught you that word, Melly? Wouldn't you like to know? Yes, we would. Spicy kitty, yup. Oh well. What are you planning on doing now? We need a new perspective. Maybe there's something we haven't considered yet. That's why we brought some of our research materials with us. Wouldn't a library be better for this? Well, maybe. But there wouldn't be enough space to set up the conspiracy board. You brought the board here? Yep. Thanks for letting us set up here. Thanks for letting us set up here. Okay, I'll be in the back. I hope it's okay for us to take up some of your space. It's fine, Archie. You can go ahead. Much appreciated, innkeeper. You just see that one meme with like the guy and the thing, and Melly's just like, you know. Well, don't you look chipper? It's good to see you too, Una. You can spare me the pleasantries. Long day? Nah, I was just never really into all this research mumbo-jumbo. I was surprised when I heard you volunteer for the research group. Ha! Your info-gathering game is getting weak, innkeeper. I just chose the activity that's the least hassle. Too much exercise isn't good for the retirement spirit. But I don't need to tell you that, do I? Before you get another word out of me, though, I'll need something to get my energy back. That whole frantic research atmosphere really tired me out. Something to bring your strength back. Got it. Alright. What do we got for Una? She says she wants strength. So we either give her Sailor's Courage, or we give her a Southern Brawler. Let's just stick with the Southern Brawler. We'll keep it simple. We keep things simple. A whole lot of attack. Here we go. Have a good time? Good. Alright. Ding ding! Here. For all that heavy-duty crocheting you're doing. I feel like I could crochet gloves for an entire army with this. Maybe our other residential crocheter could use something like this. You got some more adventures stashed away in those back rooms of yours? Just some more frantic researchers, I'm afraid. So, what else have you been up to? Just making sure Grace and Scully don't work themselves into an early grave for the most part. Any news on that front? Are you in the mood to be underwhelmed? Listening to what my patrons want to share, whether good or bad, is a key part of my job. Spoken like a good little innkeep. Crochet. Yeah, see, her little hook arm is actually a crochet hook. I didn't realize that until it was said later. As for the research, not many surprises there, to be honest. The damage that breaking the sigils did is pretty much irreversible, as expected. That teleportation spell Grace is looking into is not getting any less dangerous. Even with all the modifications she's making, there's still a good chance of it backfiring. Ooh. Alright, we have some voice acting. Alright. Well, thank you, EK, for using your duck bucks on that. Let me get my timeout. And we will hop in. Let me maybe boost my mic a little bit. Hopefully there's not any weird sounds coming through, but I just know my mic is not hitting where I want it to. Unfort. Boosted a smidge. Because sometimes, you know, projecting voices sometimes doesn't get the exact pitches or tone that I want to. Like the exact volume. Alright, here we go. And by good chance, I mean like 70%. What kind of backfiring are we talking about? Like everything blows up in fireworks and fun? Now. Like immediately dying. Oh. How is Scully and Grace feeling about everything? They're taking it in stride, or they're just too stubborn to give up. I'm not sure. That sounds like them. What about you? Me? Although this must be pretty disheartening. I mean, not really. These kinds of doomsday scenarios just lose their impact after a while in this business. I've lived my life, I've made my choices, now I'm just doing whatever I want either way. And the end of my days comes knocking and I'm on my porch crocheting and drinking, I'll have no regrets. But you're not on your porch. You're here, looking after the people trying to avert that doomsday scenario. I can't believe I had to hear that from you. Leaves a bad taste in my mouth. I could offer you another drink to wash it down. No thanks. Unfortunately, you've got a point. I guess I got swept up in a little all this. Sure is weird. What is? Caring. Not that I need to elaborate, preaching to the choir and all that. I don't know what you're talking about. Ha! Sure, whatever. Let me just ask you this. As you are, will you have no regrets when all of this is over? You couldn't just have let me have the last word, huh? No way in I'll leave you to contemplate that, I guess. Are Melly and Archie here? In the back. I'll go see if the young'uns need some company. Well, you know. Still another rainy day. Carolyn, oh. How did it go? Oh. Greetings. I mean, good mythical afternoon, adventurers. Uh-oh. Good afternoon, innkeeper. Does this afternoon seem mythical to you? It seems. What? Sorry about that. We didn't have much time to dry off before coming here. The floorboard should be able to endure just this once. It's okay if you want to leave now, Vaya. We all made it back safe. Okay. But please keep the blankets. I can make some soup. We should be good for now. Thanks, Baya. Where are you headed, Baya? The swamp. I want to talk to my friends. I see. Goodbye. Let a tree know if you need any more help. I will come. Stay safe, Baya. Having to juggle all these accents. Spit it out already. You've been chewing on that ever since we escaped from that mountain. It's just, I feel bad, alright? So? That doesn't sound too good. Isn't it pretty obvious? Right. More importantly, have the others come back yet, Innkeep? They haven't. It's a waiting game, then. Great. My favorite. Alright, Innkeep, this is where you come in with a drink. I'm going to explode if we keep brooding like this. We're not that rogue fellow. And which of my drinks will be of aid? Not sure what could be soften the outcome of our quest, but maybe protection from disappointment. That might do. Certainly. Oh boy. This was one of our groups we sent out, and I think they were supposed to be forging a sword. So, oh man. Alright. So, protection. Sounds like a frosted lagoon to me. Again, keep it simple. Complicated times like this, it's better to keep things simple. All the defense. Alright, Frosted Lagoon. Ding ding. I hope your disappointment will be just a distant memory after this drink. Thanks, this takes the edge off. Didn't realize my shoulders were so tense this entire time. Can offer you two a drink as well. I'm fine, for now. Count me in, innkeeper. I don't really want to think about it. But perhaps understanding where we failed wouldn't be a bad idea. I'll see what I can do. Understanding. Intelligence, then, huh? We'll go with the sparkling nebula, then. Yeah, not wanting to get too crazy. Is it gonna make on do sparkle? No, no sparkles. No sparkle this time. There we go. This might be just what you're looking for to understand the meaning of everything. 42! He did not just give the answer of the universe. What? Weird. I don't know where that came from. But this is good. My synapses are firing at the speed of light. Here's my conclusion. We might really, really be boop. Was it that bad? You don't even know the half of it. Wait, this can't just be it, right? Grace and the others should have figured out something else by now. You probably already have some quests for us in store for plan C, D, and X. I'm sorry, Hex. Archie and Melly couldn't find any new leads. And Grace and Scully are still at it, but from what I've heard, they haven't found much either. That's... Come on, Innkeeper, stop joking around. I don't think this is very funny. Neither do I. Then what are we even doing here? What? If the Innkeeper doesn't have any quests for us, why are we wasting time here? If you haven't noticed, the world might be ending soon. We failed to create the world-saving weapon. And now we're here to what? Have a nice chat? Oi, you're mighty close to overstepping there, wizard. Well, maybe someone needs to say it instead of just lazing around. Hex? Sit your arse down. I'll say that, whatever. This is no time to lose your cool. We aren't just here to chat. Information about the group that went to the Twilight Chasm will reach this inn first. At this point, we need to know their fate. It would be foolish to go running around without a plan. So, are we cool? I'm sorry. Not exactly a good look for a wizard to lose his head, is it? As long as you realize that yourself. While we wait for the others, I guess it's a good time for another story, Innkeep. I'm looking forward to getting some context. Right. After our chat the other day, Kyle and I went to pick up Hex. I keep trying to go from, like, Irish, Scottish to, like, Australian, and I'm struggling trying to keep the two of them straight. Especially between the slight accent for the Innkeeper, the deep and slight accent for Carolyn, and then Rhea again. It's just, ugh. After our chat the other day, Kyle and I went to pick up Hex. We said goodbye to Kyle. He cried, and he left for Moreau Castle. Soon after, Care and Baya picked us up. They just stepped right out of a tree right next to us. Baya was pretty excited to take us to the islands. Apparently, she's pen pals with the Yeti, and she's never gotten the opportunity to visit. And then whoosh! Whoosh? Yeah. One minute we're surrounded by nice lush woods, and then the next, vast mountains. Snow. A lot of snow. You guys suck at descriptions. Our journey to the Highlands was so fast, it's barely noteworthy. It was impressive. I mean, sure, evocation is obviously the superior school of magic. But I suppose such a feat of conjuration was pretty cool, even though nothing blew up. And then you had to keep babbling to Baya about it until we reached the village. Well, Grace would have killed me if I didn't ask for details. While the view was great, we were pretty disoriented. Even when we found the village Clay told us about, no one could point us towards the temple. Kara looked like she was getting ready to throw people around if they continued saying they couldn't help us. It was clear that no one knew anything. Even though we still had no idea where to go, we left the village. That's when Baya let out this gut-wrenching scream. It sounded kind of like... What is that? Thanks. I really appreciate you replicating that scream. But why? Hey, you guys insisted I stay to tell the tale. Oh, hey, Melly. Did someone die? Oh, hi, lady. Good to see you, Melly. No one died. Hex just got a little too overexcited. I'm sorry I didn't replicate the scream for you, but whatever. Whoopsies. I see. Well, make sure not to scream like that anymore, or no one will know what you really need a detective on the scene. After all, you don't want to be the next boy who cried detective. I'll keep that in mind. I'll go back to the board then. So, Baya let out a scream. We had no idea what she did, but before she could explain, we heard some loud footsteps approaching. It was hard to see with the heavy snowfall, but a huge silhouette was making its way towards us. Care almost tore into it as soon as it was close. But before we knew it, Baya rushed forward. I almost attacked Baya's pen pal. You actually met the abominable Yeti? Does he make cool t-shirts? Really nice fellow. Also pretty good with directions. They pointed us towards the temple. When they did, I noticed the well-crafted ring of made something like opal. Couldn't help but ask them about it. Turns out they got it from the temple. That really got the Yeti talking. We learned a bunch about the temple's jewelry making business. And about anyone approaching their stronghold and unannounced would be seen as an enemy. Which is a horrible way to run a business. They had explained that only a select group of trusted people are allowed on the premises. They didn't want to help us get in, though. Something about getting their jewelry by and rights revoked. At least we knew the way, and soon with that invisibility finally kicking in, we saw it before us. Lo and behold, the Temple of Ur, where the flame of Leviathan is kept. Sounds blasphemous. The trek up there was brutal. It was so much walking, I thought my feet were going to fall off. It wasn't so bad, really. The winding path looked nice with all that sparkling snow. That's easy for you to say. You just vaulted right over all that rubble. Guess we did get to the gate eventually. It was closed, of course. A gigantic wet slab of stone in weathered condition. If there's one thing I know about this sort of thing, it's that gates like this are the ones that are super inconvenient. Good thing we didn't want to waltz in through the main gate anyways. No, with the invisibility effect from your drink still active, we started to check for any other points of entry. There was so much rubble, we figured there must have been some way for us to slip through. Well, there wasn't. And I was already starting to feel this itch of the invisibility wearing off. We were running out of time. Come on, tell the innkeep what you decided we should do next. We might have tried to scale the temple walls. We made it close to the top, but then the stone started to crumble right under our hands. Hex was the first to fall, but it didn't take long for us to follow. Though it's good to fall with a wizard that can cast a spell to slow our descent rather than break our necks. And here I thought you guys just wanted a big group hug. If you wanted more group hugs, maybe cast a spell earlier than 5 feet before hitting the ground. Oh sure, I'll try practice spellcasting while falling at a terminal velocity more for next time. Well, you did manage it before we turned into a big puddle of adventurous soup. If only we had managed to land literally anywhere else. I didn't even know creatures that big lived out there. Aye, me neither. Right next to us where we had thought was a snow-covered mountain, an eye as big as Care opened. It was the guardian of the temple. It slowly lifted its massive head, and we realized the mountain path we'd been working on earlier was no path, but the body of the Griever. Its snake body slowly unfurled from around the temple. While shaking off the snow off itself, it revealed its pure white iridescent scales. For a few moments, it just stared us down. The gigantic opal embedded between its eyes shone with every color imaginable. What I wouldn't give to work with an opal of such fine quality. It's good to hear you guys had a mythical moment there. But I, for one, was worried about what the overgrown snake with wings. The Guiva unfurled its wings from where they had been tucked against its body and rose into the air. An attack position. It struck with such speed we only avoided it thanks to Kaya's quick reflexes when she pushed us into the snow. All I could think about was that I didn't want to fight it. When it was getting back into position for another strike, I screamed out our intentions. I couldn't imagine the dragon's guardian could be indifferent to our objective. It didn't seem to care much about it, though. Or it didn't hear us. I didn't want to give up. We had to communicate it with a way that we couldn't ignore. So we choreographed an expressionist dance. No. Not really. But that would have been a lot funnier. In any case. Instead of trying to fight it, I told the others to get moving and get our message across. By writing it in large letters in the snow. Ever tried to stomp out letters while a giant reptile is attacking you, innkeeper? Heck of a core workout. I think I developed muscles where no muscles should ever develop. Watch out, you might become the first wizard to complete a push-up. And did it work? The push-up? No, the writing in the snow thing. Wasn't sure at first, but when the attack stopped, I saw it looking intently at what we had written. Then it launched itself in our direction again, but instead of trying to attack us, it dove into the snow. The ground beneath us started shaking until all of us were suddenly lifted on top of its head. I thought we were ascending to Watt's realm for a second, not gonna lie. But instead we were just lifted higher and higher into the air, towards the temple. Soon we could see a tower emerging from the temple grounds. The guardian must have understood us after all, because it was taking us to the only place I could have imagined the flame to be. Soon we were close enough for us to jump down from the guardian, and then I saw the altar. Uh-oh. What did you see? That's the thing. We saw nothing. Nothing. No great flame of Leviathan. Just a devastated altar. And an empty basin where the flame should have rested. We were so foolish. The clues were already there when we were approaching the temple. All the rubble, the poor state of the building. The flame was extinguished during the flood long before we ever set foot in the highlands. I should have known that an eternal flame was too good to be true. It was all such a waste of time. You can imagine our shock at what we saw, innkeeper. The realization slowly began to settle in. There would be no way of forging that weapon. Nor than to wield against the necromancer. Up there at the altar, everything was so quiet. The priest hadn't reached us yet. There was just the sound of the wind, and the crushing disappointment we were all feeling. The guardian didn't need to say a word. I understood it either way. Whatever emotions we were feeling, they couldn't compare to the grief in the guardian's eyes. Eventually, we were joined by some of the priests who confirmed what we had already surmised. They lost their main objective of worship on the day of the flood. At least our disappointment was somewhat softened by the warm meal the priest offered us. I think they felt bad for us. There's community and shared grief. They were pretty interested in that sword of yours as well. Considering everything we'd learned in the last few days, the minor divinity of it feels hardly noteworthy. I'll cherish it nonetheless. Maybe I'm also just glad it'll remain a memento of my grandma. It was stupid to think that I could try to rival her feats. But I didn't expect you to talk to those priests for so long. I'd never seen you so forthcoming before, Raya. Ain't exactly every day you get to see that kind of smithing mastery on display. The jewelry those priests were decked out in is a wonder to behold. Straight dripping! No. Please don't. Hey, you don't complain when Iniko says it. The level of craftsmanship is to be expected of Ull's people, I guess. They were really generous as well. Practically forced those opals on you. And that blueprint. You misunderstanding that one, Kara. That was for ye. Okay, I'll finish this conversation, but thank you for using your duck bucks. It's a soul blueprint that's been passed down since the conception of that temple. A form worthy of the dragon's might, as they put it. Then they wasted it. I know you won't hear it now, but if you ever feel different, it'd be an honor to forge it for you. We eventually got ready to head back. I was worried about the lack of trees around us, but Baya seemed unbothered. We headed out to the courtyard, where slowly but surely she grew a whole tree. Its branches were stark white and covered in gleaming leaves. I asked her afterwards what kind of tree it was, but she just replied it was the dream of the soil. Don't know what that meant. The priest looks very touched by its appearance. Excuse me. But we needed to be on our way, so into the tree we went. We stopped by Baya's and then headed over here. So that's that. Never had such a depressing walk back to the tavern. Oh, quit your yapping. You were going on and on about all this way over here too. That's easy for you to say. After all, you got those gems. Great for your stupid competition. Some of us were a bit put off by that quest failing. Why don't you come out and just say what your problem is? My problem is you're acting like everything's fine. Pardon? Did one of you do that? Did it stop? Seems like it. Is everyone okay? More or less. Yeah. What about Melly and the others? I need to... I'll go. Alright. Thanks, Raya. I'll take my leave. We told our story. There's no other reason for me to stick around. I know this is a hard time for all of us. But I need to check on Grace. Goodbye, Hex. It's getting late. There's always a room for you upstairs if you get tired, Lynn. It's fine. I'll keep you company. Things must have been really dire if you're offering that. What do they say? Desperate times call for desperate measures. First star. Oh. Clay is Madge. Why is Clay Madge? And what, now we're gonna get another report? And we're right up on ads? Dadgummit. Okay, we're gonna pause here. I'll leave you guys with the comfy music before things probably get a little nutso and we get another report and another story. But as we do, try to only play 3 minutes of ads per hour to turn off pre-rolls. Y'all know the drill. I'm kind of debating if I want to drink myself, and I don't know if I want a ginger ale or another matcha latte. I'm kind of hard to decide right now, but I might try to figure that out. But yeah, I do encourage you all to stand up, stretch, go to the bathroom, snacks and beverages. The ads do help the stream. It's also a good time for us to take the break. If you do also want to support the stream and not get ads, Twitch sub, Prime Gaming, you'll know the drill if you've been here. But yeah, but again, thank you EK for using your duck bucks for voice acting. I do hope it was satisfactory, even if I felt a little out of practice with my accents. Maybe that's something else I could work on in 2025. But yeah, I'm gonna go decide what drink I want to make myself while the ads go off, and I will be back in just a couple minutes. I decided to go with a latte just to help stave off any yawning. I also treated myself to a couple of end pieces of the sugar cookie fudge that I decided to make earlier this week, so I could get those goodies shipped off. Very good. If anyone wants the recipe, I'm happy to share it in the Discord, of course. Yeah. Matcha latte just really seems to hit really well. Good stuff. Worth it as always. Good. Good, good, good. That definitely hits. Oh man, if Clay's coming back mad, that's concerning though. Also, where's Tia? I thought she went off with them too. Welcome back. Keep it. Okay. Where are the others? Inigo's outside trying to calm Voy down. We didn't want him to throw up in your tavern. Did he have a panic attack? I hope Tia isn't giving him too hard of a time. Oh no. She isn't, right? No. Where is she then? Gone. She's gone. She left? No. She's dead. What? Tia can't be dead? You're right. She's always too stubborn to die. Well, she did. Huh? I'm sorry. That's awful. Yeah, you don't have to tell us that. Is anyone else? No. We got away before anyone else went down. That's good. What about Fable? Did you see them there? Is the chasm in the chasm maybe? No. We didn't find them though. What? I found a bunch of broken arrows not too far from the portal. They were all engraved with pretty flowers. I think they were there. They just didn't come back. Oh boy. I hope they're okay. Maybe with a drink they would have been okay. Ow. What do you mean? You didn't make him a drinking keep? We had a bit of a fight. So you willfully endangered them? It wasn't me! I had hoped it would stop them from going. Nothing could ever stop Fable from helping people, you idiot. I realize that now. You should thank the dragons I care more about my friend's eardrums than I care about yelling at you. I already regret it well enough, don't you worry. You better. If anything happened to them... Well... If they end up like Althea, I know. Me too. We shouldn't have left without her. Her body wasn't exactly cooperative. We couldn't have taken it with us if we tried. What? Don't call her that. What? An it. Clay. He's right. Have some respect. I'm just saying. We'll stop saying it. Alright, you three. Calm down. No need to spill more blood. Please, tell us what happened. What does it matter? We abandoned her. That's what happened. We didn't do that. We sure abandoned the world. our angel would be disappointed in us. It's not like we had much of a choice. You would say that, wouldn't you? What's that supposed to mean? You always run. Of course you wouldn't choose anything else. I ran because I have something to get back to, Clay. So did she. Okay, how about a drink for calming all those nerves? No. Time and place. I'll take one. Need to tell you what happened after all, even though I'd rather wouldn't. Got anything to make that easier? I'm running out of secrets, though. Don't worry, there's no need for trading today. I don't have anything to wash away the regret. But maybe I can get you something to make the words flow easier. Jeez. I mean, we knew that this was a life-threatening quest. Like, they're going to save the world and confront whoever was that was doing this, but jeez. Alright, Spoken Heart it is. Just the regular for him. That's sad, though. Clay and Tia were gonna be such good friends, if not, you know, maybe something more along the line. Alright, Spoken Heart. Here. Thanks for this little taste of normalcy. So I don't really know what to ask. Did you stop him? No. Oh. Fair. He was faster than us somehow. Melly and Baya drew us a map to the portal so we could get there quickly, but when we arrived, we found a note stapled to a tree. It read, "If you value your lives, go home." He knew you were coming? Apparently. Jade and Tia argued about what to do, but we didn't exactly have a lot of options. So we went after him, right into the Twilight Chasm. It was... Calling it the Realm of Nightmares seems like an understatement in retrospect. Wouldn't have made it without Voy. And Tia's light. And Tia's light. We ran into the Necromancer on his way back. Didn't even catch him before we got to Ur. He looked... unharmed. It's ridiculous how easy it must have been for him. In his hands he held an axe shaped like a dragon's talon, pulsating with magical energy. It was smaller than I thought it would be. Magic weapons tend to be size adjustable. Oh, right. Maybe we would have stood a chance if we hadn't walked right into a cluster of nightmare creatures. I thought maybe they'd be a good distraction for him too, but the Necromancer called on them for aid in the chasm's tongue. Voy said he promised them freedom and endless nightmares. And just like that, they sided with him and we were up against a Necromancer, a God's Axe, and a horde of monsters. We thought we were fast, faster than even his new army. So we quickly cornered him and thought we would stand a chance fighting, but that magic boop cast some sort of slow spell on us. Not even one round in and we were reduced to our normal speed. At least we still had some defense. Tia was right. It helped protect us against a lot of blows we might not have survived otherwise. But we were still losing ground, not to mention the battle. He pushed us back towards the edge of the Twilight Chasm and the portal we had entered from. He almost got Voy at that point. Voy had just played sub 6 solo that momentarily charmed one of the monsters away from Clay when an axe landed in its shoulder. He was on the ground before any of us could get to him, and then the Necromancer just stopped, stared down at him like he was looking at a ghost. Maybe Voy reminded him of something. Maybe his dead boop heart. Maybe. It gave Iniko enough time to pull Voy away and through the portal, back to the moon pools. It's true, you know, you can see all the 7 moons reflected in their clear waters at once. It would have looked beautiful if it hadn't been for all the blood. And for all the monsters swarming us left and right. We were trying to cut them down, but every time we killed one, he would just bring them back. Over and over and over again. And then Clay finally found an opening. He cut down 4 creatures at once and got through to the necromancer, who was preoccupied with resurrecting a fallen giant. It should have been an easy hit, but Clay got reckless. That's when I saw the necromancer smile, saw him notice Clay approaching. I tried to call out, but I wasn't fast enough. Just when Clay got within reach, the necromancer swung out his axe, and it should have killed me. It should have killed me. I'm glad it didn't. I know where this is going. Don't be. The axe hit Tia right in the chest as she shielded Clay with her body. She moved so fast. I think when she saw Clay in danger, she finally managed to break out of the slow spell. I saw she wanted to protect him, so I pushed Clay out of the necromancer's way. And as Tia lay there, her body in the pool of the astral moon's light, he brought down the axe again. You shouldn't have pushed me. She died to save you. I had to honor that. We might have been able to save her from dying if you hadn't. I wish that was true too. We should have shielded her body so we could revive her. Think that would have been a little hard to do now. Why is that? When she fell, the necromancer brought her back. Just raised her up like a puppet, like it was nothing. She was looking right at me. She looked so sad because I didn't save her. Why couldn't I save her? When I saw an undead Tia rise to her feet, her weapon and shield leveled at us, I knew we had to run. I couldn't risk losing anyone else. Inigo picked up Voy as soon as I called for us to flee. Jade didn't want to leave until Voy started pleading with her while he was almost bleeding out. She helped me pull Clay away. I still think it was wrong. It was. Oh, don't make me side. It was to, like, leave her body? Is that what you're saying? Come on. This isn't the time to say yes or no. I mean, it's like, I'm glad they left because that meant they lived, but... Oh man, this fudge is good. I'm gonna have to say it was indeed, because, again, what would y'all do? Y'all would have had to have avoided Tia and the hordes of the undead, and while trying to get to him. It was indeed. You just left her there. Oh. Oh. I thought it was saying it was indeed smart for them to leave. Ugh. All's back and forth. Would you prefer for them to have joined his undead army too? Dave made the right choice. After that, we made our way back here. We didn't know where else to go. I'm glad you all made it back, but I'm sorry you had to go through all that. Why did we have to? Why didn't Cassiope save us? Save her! The dragons are neutral. The dragons are... Woo! Clay is mad. Sure are. The real Pip is the madman who killed her. We have to go back. I don't think that's a good idea, bud. We have to. We have to retrieve her body. He can't have her. Now we can use her to navigate that stupid portal, and she would hate that. And she would hate being turned into another monster he could use. If we can't get her back, we at least have to bring her here to give her a proper burial. We can't do that, Clay. We don't even know where they are right now. If we had stayed, we might. But we didn't. Thanks to you. But it is what it is, right? You say we can't go back, so we can't change anything. We screwed up. We played right into his hands. All this power and strength and magic, and we didn't change anything. Hold on. I'm sure you did your best. What's the point of doing if that doesn't save anyone? I can't even feel her anymore. The bracelet, it's just empty. There's just an absence where Tia should be. I feel like if we had just done something different, if I had been more stubborn, I don't know if you could have changed anything. Why do you sound so sure of that? I think the necromancer, I think he heard everything. What you planned, I mean. 'Cause of the freaking bird. How could that even be possible? After you left, the jackdaw near my window, I think it was a spy, and it heard everything. What? How does that even happen? How did you not notice that? I don't know. I'm sorry. All I'm saying is, it's not your fault the plan failed. He outsmarted us. All of us. So there's nothing we could have done. That can't be right. What's the point of all this then? If he knows everything, then we might as well give up. He has Ur's axe. He has an army of nightmare creatures and more. And she's gone. The only person who'd know what to do is gone. And we don't have a magical greatsword either. You've got to be kidding me. What? Magic flame was put out by the flood. So we've lost? It's over. Not yet. He hasn't won yet either. Even if it feels like he has. We're still here, so we can still fight. We can still stand in his way. Hope will only abandon us if we let it. You're right. Us giving up, that's not what she would have wanted. What she would have wanted was to live, to get a chance to be more than some pointless martyr. I want her back. Clay. No, I don't want to hear anything else from you. No, my favorite character's mad at me. You didn't even notice the spying bird in your tavern, or maybe you did, who knows? You're dishonest with us all the time. Do you even really care about any of all this? Of course I care. I care more than you can ever imagine. I wish I could bring her back too, Clay. Well, can you? No. What help are you then? Screw this. I'm done hearing excuses, and I'm done pretending we'll make it through this. Clay, please stay. Ugh. Can I have one of those drinks now? Don't want to go after him? If I was him, I'd kill all of us, so no. What kind of drink do you want? I don't know. Something fast, maybe? Didn't help with the fight, but might help with my stomach. It's worth a shot, I guess. Yeah, bye, Clay. Jeez. Well. It's not often we get to make the hot chocolate, so why don't we make the hot chocolate? It is swift, so... Bother. Everybody's upset. Heroes are dying. What are we gonna do? Bah. Bah. Let's see. We'll go with that. We'll go with the gold flower. Then one thing of defense. One thing of defense. One bit of intelligence. And 2 things of agility. I mean, it's like I knew this was going to be stressful because we're literally trying to save and prevent the end of the world, but come on. You're my only friend right now, Undo. Everybody hates me. Woo. I mean, it's true that there is some craziness going on with the innkeeper, considering they knew the necromancer and they had something of a hand in with the first sigil breaking and the portals and all that years ago, but come on. Alright, ding ding. Why not hot chocolate? Fast and quick. Just how I like it. What kind of drinks did she like? Defense all the way. Adds up. Uh-oh, this doesn't look good. No, it does not. No, it does not. That was another achievement. Act 4, The Wake. Oh. Alright. Wait, were y'all still here? Or... Someone should go after Clay at some point. We'll need his help. We don't have time to let ourselves fall apart right now. Easy for you to say, you weren't there. Carolyn's right. We'll have time to feel defeated once we're dead. Right now, all is not lost. Not yet. Sure, it's just a bit hard to buy this never give up stuff right now. If you know how to salvage all this, feel free to share with class. I'm serious. I won't even roll my eyes at any heroic speeches right now. Yeah, I figured. So what, do you just want to give up? I don't know. Clay was right. It's getting pretty hard to see the point. That's exactly what got us into this mess to begin with. What, your failure? No. This daggum ambivalence. Huh. I think you guys need to take a good hard look at reality. I don't like betting on losing horses. Of course. Did enough pro bono today? How much will it cost to get you interested again? Oh, you can heck right off. Ulyssia. What's up, Dave? Think this through. What would you even do? Where would you go? Don't patronize me for trying to save myself. Dave's right. There won't be anywhere to go soon. I don't want to hear it, innkeeper. What do you even know? All you do is sit here and watch everything fall apart around you. Don't you dare lecture me on this. I don't think that's very fair of you to say. You really want to talk about fair? Must be easy, huh? All up on your high horse watching us struggle every day? And all you can spare is some half-ended commentary and a few pleasantries. I'm sorry. I didn't realize you mercenaries cared so much. Well, I got there in the end. Did you? Should have figured. Explains why that bird spying on us all the time was also just a footnote for you. Hey. You always go on and on about your responsibilities as an innkeeper, how it's your duty to serve anyone that walks through those doors. If that necromancer punk walked in here, would you offer him an ear and listen to his story? Would you serve Illathea's murderer a drink with the same smile like you do for us? Hey, maybe he'd bring her corpse along. Good thing you'd already know what drink to serve her. Jeez, that's cruel. Why are you defending her? You should be just as pissed as me. That elf is gone because she couldn't get over her own ego, right? For all we know, Fable could be dead in a ditch somewhere. We wouldn't know. My drinks aren't miracle tinctures. They can't move mountains. But they could provide the edge between life and death. Couldn't they? And you decided to refuse them that help because you were petty. Not like it matters now. Don't talk like Fable's already dead. Maybe you should have thought harder before letting Fable walk away like that. What happened to believing in them? If there's even a chance that they might come back, I'll keep these tavern doors open. Good to know you seem to have somewhat of a heart. Whatever. Whatever. I don't know what else you want me to say. Just try to say something that doesn't make it sound like you've already given up. Like you didn't give up the moment things turned rough in the chasm. That was different. People were dying. A lot of people will die soon because we ran. So unless you have some big idea for how to fix this world... Oh, I know. You can just set up another hit, Dave. That way someone else can take care of your problems again. It just won't be me this time. Innkeeper, Carolyn, it's been real. Or not. But risking Clay's temper seems more meaningful than sitting here, so goodbye. Everybody's so mad! I mean, it's like things are falling apart and hope is seeming less and less, but good night! She does have a point, doesn't she? I don't know what to do anymore. On the way back from the Highlands, I was thinking, I could just go see my family, but would I even reach them before the sun sets for the last time? I could have tried. Instead, I'm here. I'm not sure why. There must be something left to do. Maybe, if we have the element of surprise with your sword, we might... No, this sword can't save the world, and neither can I. Fable! Am I seeing things? Fable? Hello, everyone. Greetings, adventurer. Welcome back. I'm back. Somebody pinch me. Ow. I said pinch, not punch, Carolyn. That wasn't a punch. I'll show you. Wait, it's really me. Even though I do look a little different. Is it weird? No. It suits you. Looking like a baddie, Elfie. Thanks. I like it too. I like the ears. Very fluffy. Very, eerie? No, that sounds wrong. Let me try that again. Take your time. They are very pretty. Beautiful. Effervescent. Do you need one of your own drinks, innkeeper? Well, what I really want to say is... I'm so glad you're okay, Fable. And I'm happy you're back. I'm really happy to see you as well, innkeeper. And there's so much for all of us to talk about. Wait, before that, First and foremost, I want to say that I'm truly sorry. I should have never refused to make you a drink. No matter what insecurities I was dealing with, I should have never let them get in the way of keeping you safe. I made it back, didn't I? And I thank the dragons for that. But I still ended up acting like a giant hypocrite. None of my encouragement was ever given in falsehood, yet learning to trust in the abilities I knew you had. It was hard to trust in you while the worry for your well-being was eating me whole. The worry of losing a friend. Don't you mean regular? No, you're my friend. If you'll still have me. You know, I thought a lot about our last conversation. I was upset at first, but most of all, I was afraid. Afraid that we'd never talk again. I didn't even know if I ever wanted to come back to this tavern. Maybe the me from a few weeks ago would have just stayed away, but... You're important to me too, Innkeep, and I wanted to be brave for the both of us. So I came back to hear you out. And I'm happy I did. Glad you're both finally able to resolve this. The conversation must have really eaten into your word count for the day, Innkeeper. Worth it. But yes, you'll have to carry me from here on out, Dave. I'll try my best. Oh, right. Guys, we don't have time to chat. There's this necromancer that stole Ur's axe. I don't know who he is or what he wants to do with it, but we have to stop him. Kinda already been working on that, but... Why are you guys looking at me like that? It might be good to get everyone up to speed. You go first, Fable. You got us at the edge of our seats. Well, as you know, I was searching for Melly around the portal to the Twilight Chasm. But I couldn't find any clues, not with the devastation left behind after the flood. And then a thought struck me. What if Melly was pulled into the portal by the waves? That would have been a nightmare, literally. And even if I could swear I saw the shadows around the portal moving. Or the fact that it's the entrance to the plane called the Nightmare Realm. I couldn't just abandon my friend, so I went through the portal. How did that go for you? To be honest, I barely remember what happened when I first went through. The distorted landscape, the giant gangly creatures roaming around, my heart was beating out of my chest. All my blood was in my ears again. Eventually, I found an alcove that gave me some shelter, but I couldn't just stop freaking out. In my blind panic, I had run so far away from where I had entered that the chance of finding any traces of Melly was almost zero. So what did you do next? I must have fallen asleep. What? Excuse me? Well, all that running and worrying got me so exhausted I must have just passed out. It was weird, falling asleep in such a strange place. I couldn't remember any dreams afterwards, just this sense of disquiet and unease. But when I woke up, the Twilight Chasm looked different to me. It didn't scare me so much anymore. Moreover, I felt almost melancholic as I regarded its deep purple horizons. And suddenly, close to my alcove where spiky mountains split the sky, I saw entrances to tunnels that hadn't been there before. My curiosity got the better of me and I ventured inside. The deeper I went, the more I started seeing veins of precious stones lining the walls. And soon the tunnel widened into a huge cave. And I mean, it was huge, gigantic. I wasn't even able to see the ceiling anymore. Turns out, somehow I had stumbled from the Twilight Chasm into the center of Ur, the plane, not the dragon, but... In front of me was the sleeping form of the Elder Dragon themselves, looking more awake than they should have been. Uh-oh. I can only guess that the water covering the floor must have roused them. The flood had even managed to reach Ur's cavern. You mean the dragon that, if woken too early, will bring about the end of everything was awake? Yes. Great. Another apocalypse. Do we get double points for a combo? Wait, I haven't finished my tale yet. But you're right, it didn't look good, especially when the necromancer appeared. I hid behind a formation of stalagmites as soon as I noticed him. Something about his presence and armor seemed off. He was followed by a couple of undead creatures dressed in farmer's clothing. I was still debating whether to reveal myself or not when he began to cast a strange spell. A green mist started to coalesce around Ur's head. Then their eyes flew fully open. I was stunned when I saw their gaze. Their presence had become suddenly stifling. Whatever strange visions the mist revealed seemed to enrage them. Then their roar must have shaken the whole plane. But while Ur was distracted, the necromancer tried to retrieve their fabled axe wrapped in their tail. It was a gut feeling, but I just couldn't let him take that axe. I had to stop him. And as he took hold of the large weapon, he turned to look right at me. My legs felt like goo. I was shaking so bad it was hard to draw breath. I knew at that moment, should I try to fight him, I would die. It was by pure luck that in that moment, Ur shook off the mist and lunged for the intruder. The undead creatures used their bodies to shield him, shattering upon impact with Ur's claws. While the necromancer cast the same mist spell again. The spell connected with ease, giving him the precious seconds he needed to escape. For a while, nothing happened. There was just silence. I think desperation made me brave, or blind to the consequences, but I could hesitate no longer. If that necromancer was to use the axe for evil, well, I had the chance to stop him and didn't. So I abandoned my hiding spot and ran towards Ur, begging them for help. You just asked the Elder Dragon for help? Yes. It seemed like my only option at the time. How did they answer? With a riddle. It was something like this. Gems and jewels I create, yet my most precious treasure I still await. Sought by many, found by the lucky. It's blessed the oldest and youngest before it struck me. No mortal stands against it, and a mortal's delight. So close to death, unseeing you find. What little mortal do I seek? I was never good at riddles. I prefer a more hands-on approach. Just admit you don't have the patience. We have that in common. I had to think about it for a bit. But while looking at the dragon, it became clear to me. The answer was sleep. Wouldn't it be terrible for everyone to think you doomed the world just by waking up? I don't think Ur wants this world to end like that either. So I pulled out my lute and played Ur, the elder dragon, a lullaby. Just as I could see their eyes starting to droop, they lifted one gigantic talon to my forehead. A strange heat ran through my body, and a floating orb of blinding blue fire appeared in front of me. It was so warm and kind. It tickled my nose, and when I couldn't hold in my laughter any longer, I, accidentally ate it? Before I could panic about wasting Ur's gift, their gaze let me know that everything was fine. That their flame would stay with me from then on, and that this strength was their boon to me, to this world. The makeover was included, I guess. And that's all there is to it, really. I think that was plenty. That's astonishing. It's not like I did anything special. Anyone in my position would have done the same. No, I think this has Fable written all over it. I did forget to bring you a cool trinket back for you. I think you brought back something a lot more important. Hope. Oh! Elfie, are you saying you can actually produce dragon fire now? I think so. I practiced recreating the orb on the way here, but I still have a long way to go. Ha! I feel like I'm missing some context here. Later. I need to go get Rhea right now. That was fast. Can't blame her. I heard you might have some dragon fire from a sword. Good to see you back in one piece, Fable. Good to be back in one piece. So, what's the situation? Is there a new plan? Yes. Maybe. We'll need to figure out the details. Oh, because that's right. The immortal flame that they were going to go to the temple was dragon's fire. So now that supposedly Fable can make dragon's fire, there's another chance of forging the weapon. Okay. But it's fair to say we've been given another shot. Right. If there's any smithing to be done, you know I'm with you. How long do you think you'll need to reforge the sword? With that blueprint from the Highlands, it'll go a lot quicker. I'm confident I'll be able to make a darn fine sword. It'll be ready before sunrise. Got no time to waste. Right. I'd still really like to know what we can't waste time on. Let's discuss it with the others. Melly is a lot better explaining this kind of stuff. She's safe? Yes, she's safe. Innkeep, I trust you'll have some quests locked and loaded for us the top of the morning. Of course. I guess we'll see you tomorrow, Innkeeper. Yay! Kind of some mixed feelings going on here. Rest well, everyone. Kind of some mixed feelings going on here. Oh! Let's see. Fable has returned with their encounter with Ur. With a mysterious ability, the power to create dragonfire. Hope is rekindled at last. Well... that's all we got. The final quest. Fight of hopes and dreams. All might seem lost, but the fight is not over yet. Quasar can still be stopped at the aperture. He's in possession of a draconic weapon, but so are we. Thanks to Fable and their newly obtained dragonfire, we were able to forge a weapon to withstand his evil powers. Alright, let's go! You hear that, boy? I mean, it's still heartbreaking to think that Tia got hurt protecting Clay and just everything else, but it's like at least we have hope for the world and then we can reconcile everything else, maybe. And Fable's back and we made up. And they got the power to help save the world. Alright, let's keep going. Oh, not before a bite of fudge. Hey, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. You don't know how refreshing it is to see you three all together again. Likewise. Did you rest well? Not much, but well. We wanted to spend the whole night planning while Rhea worked on the sword, but Una forced us to sleep. She's always valued nap time. Innkeeper, I've observed you put up quests for us. I did. And you even thought about defending the roots. Very smart, Innkeeper. Very smart. I assume that means you all did too? Of course we did. We made plans and backup plans and teams and everything. What kind of team did you join? Fable's going to fight that big bad necromancer guy with the cool new dragon powers. And we'll be making sure the zombies don't eat people. Together with Baya and Archie. We'll evacuate the capital, and Zenith too. There shouldn't be any people around when his undead army arrives. Other than our extermination team, obviously. That seems reasonable. With Baya's help, it should go quickly, too. Right? First we wanted to ask her to teleport Team Coolsword to the Aperture, but Baya says she can't talk to trees in the Forbidden Valley. They're too weird. Too weird for Baya? Must be some strange trees. Yeah, I really wanted to see them, but it's too dangerous, so I'll just wait until I'm older. Archie's going to help us convince the people in charge about the approaching danger. I'll help with providing good arguments and keeping things organized. And Dave will lead our group and scout our escape routes. And after that, you're staying behind for the battle, Dave. No, I'm staying with Melly. I'll bring everyone to safety and protect them there. Not out for revenge? I'll trust my friends will deliver it for me. I do want the necromancer to be defeated, but I don't want to leave Melly alone again even more. So you want to stay out of it? I want to live. Oh. Plus, Melly will need an assistant. I couldn't ask for a better one. Agreed. Now, I know you didn't put up a quest for the evacuation, but could you get me a drink for the road? Something tasty to motivate me. We'll have to convince a lot of people we haven't gone mad. Sure. What secret do you have for me this time? A really big one. Is it his real name? What could you possibly surprise me with? Yeah! We have his real name! My real name. They're like, what? You're gonna tell her before you tell us. I'm all ears. It's Neil. Neil Broom. It's a stupid name, I know, but I think I'm done pretending to be someone else, so Neil it is. I love it! Neil! It's cute! Can I give you a nickname? Neely? Neilchin? Nelly? Like Melly, but with an N? Neil is fine, I think. Neil. It suits you really well. Thank you, Fable. Such a nice name. Definitely earned you a drink. I was hoping you'd say that. Thank you for helping me be myself. I wouldn't have it any other way. I'll make sure Neil is just as charming as Zephyr or Malachite or John then. I appreciate it. Oh, how sweet. Alright, something with charm. Something with charm. Curse coffee, no, that's strength. Defense, intelligence. We could make him 1,000 wins. But he's got to be... I mean, I know that the description doesn't matter when it comes to making the drinks, but... Perfect from wanted questions. I mean, it's either the sunny breeze... The sunny breeze, the spoken heart... I mean, I feel like at this point it would be perfect to just make Neil the spoken heart, because it'd be a classic for him. But it's been kind of his regular drink this whole time, so stick with it. Give him kind of the same drink he's had this whole time, aside from quest drinks. Here we go. But oh man, we're gonna do it, chat. We're gonna save the world, or they're gonna save the world, possibly, perhaps. Some additional charm. Not that you need it. This is delicious, thank you. I hope this will help make me more bearable to the townsfolk. I find you plenty bearable. Thanks. Innkeeper. Yes, Fable? I've been meaning to tell you. Thank you for everything you've done for me. Without you pushing me to go on that werewolf quest, I wouldn't have gained the confidence to face Ur. You're one of the best friends I've ever had. Fable, I have a confession to make. Let me guess, you don't actually know how to make hot chocolate. I do! I do, actually, though. Quincy taught me. Actually, I recently learned how. Would you like one? You're trying to distract us. Yes, she is, but I'd still like one. I'll accept it when you're done telling us your secrets. I'll trade your confession for the chance to make me a hot chocolate. I see I've taught you well. All right. Oh boy. This is scarier than I thought it'd be. I know, but you can do it. That crazy necromancer. The truth is, I know him pretty well. He's my former best friend. That makes sense. It does? Well, I always knew she was hiding something. And when I saw the flowers on the necromancer's armor, it reminded me of the letter you refused to open. Yeah, that letter was something. So you two were friends. We were an adventuring party together. It was us four and four others: Aquila, Aegeus, Alcade, and Kia. Oh, it's been ages since I've said their names out loud. We spent quite a few years together. What happened? They died. Our friends, Remember the other necromancer you were researching, Melly? Obviously. Is he their reincarnation? Was I right? Not quite. But we fought her, Carabosia, a couple of times. She was obsessed with immortality and would do anything to get it. To use us was like a game. She'd do something horrible, we'd stop her goons, she'd get away. We got so used to it that it became careless and arrogant. We didn't quite realize how dangerous she really was. Thinking ourselves invincible, we went into our last fight unprepared. And my friends paid for it with their lives. Fable, to be honest, I thought that was what would happen to you when you went into the Twilight Chasm. I thought he'd be the end of you. I see. I understand why you were scared. I just wish you would have told me. Me too. When we fought her, they all went down so quickly. Aquila got mind-controlled and struck down Alcane. Kia went down trying to heal Aegeus. We tried so hard to keep fighting despite it all, to not give up, and then suddenly they were all gone, and it was only me and Quasar. Quasar? Is that his name? Yes. Quasar Duskbringer. Is that his real name? Yes. Jealous? A little. Neil, please. He grew up in the Order of Starlight. It was a different subsection from Tia's, but I guess Cassiopeia's servants have a flair for dramatic names. We got along immediately. The Cassiopeian and Leviathan symmetry kicked in right away, I guess. You worship the Great Sea Serpent? Yeah. I'm not much of a cleric or paladin type, though. I prefer more direct communication. Cool. We both had a lot of similar practices our party members found weird and off-putting. It was fun. But the other necromancer, Carabosia. That one. She died, right? So you defeated her after all? No. Yes. Well, Quasar did. When I saw my friends were... I was pretty sure it was all over, that we'd lost. I was hopeless and scared, so I ran. I ran and I didn't stop until I was too far gone to turn back. I get that. Running's pretty easy when you're scared. And that must have been really scary, to lose your friends like that. Again with these big decisions. I still stick by it. It's like, it's better, that you get out and live. I mean, unless you can do something rather than being blinded by fear or rage or whatever. I did the right thing by leaving. Otherwise, I might have joined them. And then I wouldn't be here now. I'm glad you're here, even though that choice wasn't easy. Easier than I would have liked it to be. Suddenly, there was an explosion of intense magic from where I had escaped from. I'm pretty sure he used the Soul Shatter spell to defeat her. That sounds... shattering. Like something Hex would use. We stole it from a mad wizard back in the day. It was clearly too dangerous to be used, so we all agreed to keep the scroll safe and untouched. But he didn't. We didn't. We both wanted to study it, despite the warnings. And while the others were partying or getting into tavern brawls or petting were-owls, we studied a scroll that could rip souls asunder. I don't think either of us ever planned on using it, but we were young and curious. The allure of powerful magic is a difficult one to ignore. I think when I escaped and we refused to run, with no other options left, he used it against her. And it shattered Carabosia's soul. It clearly won him the fight, but it didn't bring them back. How have we never heard of any of that? How have we never heard about any of this? You have, in a way. It happened 30 years ago? Yes. I was wondering why he opened the first sigil 30 years ago and then waited so long for the others. I guess it was an accident. Opening the portals, I mean. That's what it did, right? With her soul? Turned it into a portal? I think so, yes. And now he wants to bring your friends back. Oh. I know that he was bitter against us, but I didn't think about it that way. We can all relate to that right now. There's nothing I wouldn't give to see them again, my old friends, and Tia too, but the past has already happened and I can't change it, no matter how much I want to. I want to honor the love they taught me, the ways they changed me, and the life I still get to live. They're worth so much more than only remembering the worst thing that ever happened to them. And I don't want to destroy myself any more than my cowardice already did. You are a little bit of a coward. You could have told us this at the beginning. I didn't want it to be him, I guess, nor did I want to choose sides. He's still my friend, even after all he's done. Even after he put on Carabosia's armor and abandoned his oath, I guess no one wants to accept that their friend has become someone unrecognizable to them. I'm sorry that happened to you, to the both of you. It feels good to finally say it out loud. Is that weird? Not at all. Do you think we can share this with the others? His name and the story, I mean. If you want to. I fear Lynn will crush me, though. I'll put in a good word for you. Do you hate me now? Of course not. You're a friend. Our occasionally stupid, shady, and sad friend, but our friend nonetheless. And Quasar is your friend. I also wouldn't know what to do if I had to fight against my friends. I'd like to think I wouldn't want to hurt them either. But you really do have to start taking your own advice. So I've heard. Thank you, Fable. You really are my favorite regular. Good, because you're my favorite innkeeper. So don't go anywhere, okay? Not this time, I promise. Do I get a hot chocolate now, or are we going to be sad for another hour? I'll get you your hot chocolate. Thank you for being patient. Alright, we know what she wants. Oh, and it's specific this time. It's the actual hot chocolate. That's a first. Okay, I think it was the golden flowers, which gives us charisma, and that. One shot of defense. One shot of intelligence. Man, it's kind of odd how all these potions make a hot chocolate. And then agility. But, you know, fantasy. Alright, ding ding. That is a big pot. Here, a hot chocolate, Quincy style. This is perfect! Thank you so much! No zombie shall stand a chance against my chocolatey veins. I have to go run through the garden now. See you in a bit. Good luck, Fable. Give her the zoomies. I guess it does have agility. I'll go with her. We'll check in with you guys after we've won. I'd like that. Once we're back, how about some cheesecake and dancing? That sounds lovely. We can make some flour biscuits too. I'm very excited to try those. Be safe out there. You too, Neil. Sounds better when you say it. Can't wait to hear it again. Oh. Thank you for sharing all of that with us, Innkeep. I guess it was finally my turn to be honest. Do you think we'll win this? Yes, I believe in all of you. I know you'll stop him and save us all. Especially with you on the team. You're really a good cheerleader. I know. And even if you don't come back, I'm still glad I got to spend all this time with you. I wouldn't trade it for the world. Me neither, Innkeeper. But don't say goodbye just yet. I'm still coming back to pick up that quest. I just need to check in with the others first, though. I figured. Thank you for everything, Fable. I couldn't have wished for a better person to share my adventures with. I'll be back in a bit. Be patient. I'll try my best. Oh, it's Kyle! Okay. We do have an ad break coming up. I don't know how long this bit is going to be, and I don't want us to keep trying to push pre-rolls until they turn off and people get inundated with ads. So we're going to take another break. Again, it feels like time flies when I'm playing this game, especially with all the big lore and secrets and everything that's dropping. So real quick, we're going to go ahead and run ads as we do 3 minutes per hour as we do. I'm going to finish my goodies over here as well, the rest of my matcha and my sugar cookie fudge, which are delightful. Again, I'm always willing to share stuff with you guys, including food, if I could. But we'll go ahead and run ads, 3 minutes, and then we will see what happens. So I'll see y'all on the other side. Oh man, I thought they were going to keep playing music. Alright, hang on. So it's not just, you know, empty. I'll put on that playlist again real quick. There. So not as loud, because it is a little jarring with the current scenario going on. I just don't I don't like leaving you guys sitting in silence. If you do or don't get ads. But still. Oh man. I guess I wasn't expecting a fourth act for this. Like, I thought this was the final act based off of all the stuff they told me. So we'll see. Really good stuff. Really enjoyable. I will be right back. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for your patience. I wanted to check in with Spirit since he was here. After that intense part, the silence kind of fits. True. That is true. Alright, we'll go ahead and turn that off. I don't want to leave y'all like an awkward silence, you know? It's like I was expecting the theme to continue, but let's go. Hello, innkeeper. We've returned. Welcome back to my tavern. How are you two doing? Still clinging to those empty lines, are we? You can drop the act now, innkeep. We all know you're not just a mere babbler after all. Who told you the good news? We met this lovely little girl on our way here. A really chatty kitlin. Maybe she has to overcompensate for that brooding older foster brother of hers. So you know about everything. About your history with the necromancer? For sure. Have to admit, everything makes a lot more sense now. I'm glad you came back. I think we all made some mistakes in our pasts. Some of us married evil punks, others ran away because they were afraid. What counts is what you do now, innkeeper. For example, how you help us fix your mess up from 30 years ago. I see you've already put up a quest for us. Good. You're not going to fight alongside Lynn? Oh, fight? Whom are we fighting? The undead army. You know, the one that's marching towards the capital. But who am I to blame them? Sounds like a wonderful stroll through nature. Kyle. They're not strolling. They're eating away at the roots protecting the capital. That's not very nice. You got that right. And that's why we're going to stop them. Very well, dear Rhea. Ye and your cape will be welcome additions to the team. There will also be a few more adventurers accompanying us. Scully, Una, Jade, and Iniko are going to join in on the fun. Iniko? Let's hope their chaotic ideas turn out well. They better. Iniko is literally chaotic, so it's fitting. Saving this world and the capital from destruction sounds like a dangerous endeavor. Oh, don't worry. It might just be like a regular adventure. Fantastic! I can't wait to be of help to my dear Rhea. Inigo Montoya? No, Iniko, not Inigo. I couldn't bear losing yet another person so close to me in my lifetime. No, I know that feeling all too well. Will you both stop worrying about anything bad has even happened yet? That reminds me. Did the sword turn out well? Ha! Excuse me bragging, but it turned out spectacular. I was able to craft a flawless weapon, so deadly yet beautiful. Kair's Baba really passed an astonishing sword onto her. With the Guiver's opals and the blueprint those priests gave us, it is my best work to date. More than enough for the Orhart competition. And with the Dragonfire little elf he acquired, it's also strong enough to withstand Ur's great axe. Already handed my masterpiece over to Kair. She's got to save this world first before I can win me competition. Are you sure you don't want to wield the sword yourself? Nah. I fought my fair share of undead. I know how to handle them. I'm better off at the capital, and the sword is better off in Kair's hands. It belonged to her Baba once, so naturally it's Kair's legacy. But there's one more thing you can do. Craving one last drink, Rhea? You see right through me. Anything specific you have in mind for today? Just a drink that won't be my last. Mix is something to help us return to your tavern after all this crap. Agreed. I would love to come back here with my dear Rhea just to reminisce. Very well. I have two ideas that could work. I could give you something to enhance your dexterity and intelligence, so you can easily predict and avoid all attacks. I top it off with a lotus flower for some extra draconic blessings. That'd be the drink for a purely offensive approach. What would the other drink do? That'd be the choice if you want something less violent. A drink that would enhance your natural charisma as well as up your defense. I'd also add some honey flowers to make you extra persuasive. We'll be trying to collect some allies on the way, so we might need to do some convincing. An additional defense seems like a good idea. But smashing the undead creatures' heads together sounds like more fun than talking to them. I'm not really much of a charmer, you know. Oh, I find you quite charming. Oh, shush. And we also have Lady Evelyn on our side. She definitely knows how to get a dead heart beating again. I'm speaking from my own experience here. Your ex-wife will be joining us? Absolutely. That's an unexpected turn of events, no kidding. So she's okay? Of course she is. That's a relief. Did you two talk it out? We did. And while there's still a long way to go, we started to reconcile. I'll tell you all about it after we prevent a world calamity. I'm counting on you. I suppose having a powerful vampire countess on our side isn't entirely bad. But now, what about me drink? Have you decided on one yet? No. Both sound reasonable to me. I'll leave it up to you. Charm or violence, which will it be? You better choose wisely. Thank you. That's only mildly threatening. Y'all know the one I want to pick, but it's the question of, is it the right one? Bah. So what, charm and defense, or swiftness and intelligence with the draconic blessing? Okay, hang on. I don't know if this is going to change anything, but it never hurts to save, right? Right. Okay, so what? It's interesting that they said violence. Though I guess technically the last whisper would be what they're thinking of. I don't want to make the last whisper. It's cool looking as it is. It looks terrible. It looks like it'll be like the last drink of somebody, you know? Well, it needs defense, or no, it needs charm and defense. Ah. Yeah, I kind of want to make them 1,000 wins, so that's what I'm going to go with. So let's try that. And then... yeah, they need the honey flowers, which has the strength, or the power upgrade, infusion. Okay, that gets us that, so then we just need 2 shots of defense. 2 shots of defense and 2 shots of agility. Right. Charm and defense and the infusion. Ding ding! You're right. You'll need all the help you can get. Some charm seems like it might be the right approach. I just hope you're not completely delusional. Me too. You better restock your supplies, innkeeper. You're gonna need a whole lot of drinks. I'll take your word for it. May you return successful. Be careful, you're starting to sound like some random NPC again. Let's go, Kyle. And pick up your ex-wife. See you later. Until then, dear innkeeper, stay safe, you two. Oh, man. Fable! Ah. I'm back. And I see you brought Lynn with you. What a pleasant surprise. Good to see you two. We're taking this quest, if you couldn't tell. I guessed as much. You're not going alone, I hope? Of course not. We're just waiting for the others. Boy, Hex, and Grace will be joining us. We're keeping the team small because it'll probably be really hard to get there. But I think Carolyn could probably defeat him all by herself anyway. I don't know. I think I work better on a team. Aww. I think we all work better when we don't have to go through terrifying experiences on our own. All part of the humanoid experience, I suppose. No philosophizing before a big quest, please. But I love my philosophizing. We know. Are you scared and excited? Yeah, both. But it's not the worst combo. We're excited for an epic fight and scared because we care about this world and each other. That seems like a good thing. I guess if I didn't care, I wouldn't feel so worried about all of you either. Good to be worried then, in a way. Though I could do without this feeling of ants running around in my stomach. Me too, but I'm glad you care. Would you say I care, Lynn? Oh, this is totally me as an innkeeper. Okay, sorry. That new sword of yours, Lynn, does it have an appropriately epic name? I asked Rhea that too. She told me to name it. And? Come on, tell me you thought of a name. Lynn panicked. Said it's just a great sword, so now its name is Just a Great Sword. Very creative. Luckily, the most commonly traded name for Ur's great axe is Just a Great Axe. So Carolyn's fits in right with the naming convention. I knew that, of course. Of course. So you got Just a Great Sword, unexplored dragon powers, a quest. All that's missing is... a drink? A drink. It would be foolish of me to let you walk out of here without any help again. A little. I mean, you are a little bit of a fool either way. Don't think I'll just forget whatever you and that Quasar guy got going on. We'll be for sure talking about that once we've stopped him. That's fair. Are you mad at me? No. I guess we all have people we're scared to talk about. But you were right. The past always comes back to haunt us, whether werewolf or necromancer. I can handle the past, as long as you guys promise to haunt me for a long while too. We'll give it our best. So, Fable, what drink should she get you? Well, I think I should play to my strengths, but I'm not sure which one I should focus on. On the one hand, dexterity will make me swifter with a bow, and it always helps to be fast and evasive. On the other hand, Boy has been teaching me how to combine magic and music to support people. And I think a powerful pep talk or a healing word can go a long way, so charisma could work too. Innkeeper, I'll leave the choice to you. I don't think there's a right or wrong answer here. I like both of these sides of myself. Just make me your favorite charisma drink or your favorite dexterity drink. A favorite drink for a favorite customer. Coming right up. Oh, man. So, charisma or agility? That's a hard call. It's like we could make her a hot chocolate. We're not making the last whisper. I say Fable sticks with what they know. But should we go with the basic and make them a Swift Strike, or should I make them a hot chocolate? It's been a hot minute since we made a Swift Strike, which is honestly kind of ironic based off of how the beginning of this game started, since we first started with meeting with Fable every day and they always ordered a Swift Strike, and I felt like that was like one of the one drinks I was making all the time, and now it's been forever since I've made one, so we'll go with the Swift Strike. The good old classic. And it's actually a pretty color combination with the different potions and stuff. Alright. A good old-fashioned Swift Strike. And one more pet to go. Fighting skills could really come in handy for this. And speed, too. That way you can always run. Ha. Ha. Thank you. I feel fast and ready for battle now. Maybe I'll even have time to pick up some new ingredients for you on the way back. Focus on getting yourself back first. I'll think about writing up a fresh grocery quest later. So, Does your ex-paladin have any weaknesses? Oh, he was a paladin. I mean, we knew he took on the powers and the equipment of the necromancer, but I didn't realize he was a paladin. He's ticklish, no. His arrogance. He still can't see himself losing. Nor does he think you have any weaknesses. And he can't imagine you have something equally important to fight for. But he's fighting for something that's already dead. You're fighting for something that's still alive. Make the most of it. Either way, best of luck. Thank you. Hope you don't mind me kicking your friend's butt. Tell him I sent you. Ha! I'll deliver your cutting words myself. Do you mind if we wait here for the others? Not at all. Grab yourselves a table and some, I still don't have any snacks, actually. What? Don't worry. I brought biscuits. Well then, have some biscuits. I'll set up a table. Why don't you sell cookies? I was never very good at baking. Okay, so this is totally not me, because I'm you know, slight humble brag. I am pretty good at baking, so maybe you should. Clay, boy. Are we on good terms again? You can finally breathe a sigh of relief, everyone. The face and the muscle have arrived. You're all saved. Hooray. Okay, I was trying to make this less awkward, and I see I've made it worse. It's okay, boy. Some situations call for a little bit of awkwardness. I am... Care. Innkeeper. I'm sorry. I forgive you. Just like that? Just like that. Thank you. Yeah, Clay, listen, I'm sorry too. You needed us and there's nothing you could have done. I needed some time to be alone to be miserable. Thank you for still being here for me when I came back. Anytime, bud. How are you feeling? Not the best. I miss her a lot. Me too. She's... I know. And I feel pretty powerless without her here. But Dave was right. She would have hated if we gave up now. I don't want to abandon the world she loves so much. We have to try and save it. It's Neil now, I think. But yeah, I think we owe it to her to try. And she deserves a proper ending too. Not to fade into some sort of puppet of his. You're always looking out for her. I know she'd really appreciate that. And you're always looking out for us. I'm sorry I got so angry about that bird. We're all trying our best. No, you were right. I should do better. Let's try to do better together, then. I'd like that. Good job, you three. That wasn't so hard now, was it? It was very hard. But it was worth it. Sometimes doing the hard stuff is worth it. Thanks for dragging me here, boy. You got it. I've heard you're joining too, Voy. Of course I am. What would everyone do without my priceless encouragement and skillful illusions? Plus, I'm dying to hurl the worst insults known to dragonkind at that man. Don't hold back on my account. Would you like a drink to help you with that? Nah, I think I've got it covered this time. Can't wait to hear your epic battle ballad about it. Oh, you will. Could I have a drink? I think I could use a little something. Like, some defense, maybe. I don't know how else I'd handle this without Tia. I'll try my best to mix up some liquid support. Oh. Alright. Another defense drink. Let's see. I think I usually made her the first snow, so let's actually go with that one. I like the sound of the first snow. Okay, but... for that we'll need a little something something. I think this will work. And it has the draconic blessing, so I feel like that would be even more appropriate for Tia. Okay. Got that. We need a little bit more agility. And then 2 things of defense. And there's the first snow. One more pet. I would kind of like if the cursor would maybe turn into like a little hand that says like, hey, you can pet him or whatever, but it's okay. All right. It's not quite Elethea, but this is as much defense as I can give you. Thank you. This reminds me of her. In the best way possible. I really needed that. Feeling a bit better. Lots, actually. Coolio. Just missing the 2 wizards now. We should wait for him with Fable. And with Fable's biscuits. There's biscuits. I'm glad they picked up snack duty. Me too. Glad you're okay, big guy. Thank you. Now come on, before Voy starts his inevitable grand speech without us. Did someone say speech? Nope. This way. Oh, man. I'll miss this. Maybe I should start offering food. No. Andu would go crazy. It's a matter of what you do with it. The stars of the show have finally arrived. But Voy is already here. I don't think we can compete with that. Aw, come on, don't kill my vibe. You spend too much time with Iniko. Impossible. Are they also while you're late? We're busy doing research, okay? Turns out we have a little bit of a problem. You mean besides the crazy necromancer with a god complex and a god's weapon trying to kill death? Besides that, yes. Wonderful. What is it? Quasar needs to go through the astral portal in the aperture to reach Tuat and do his crazy apocalypse thing. Well, if we figure he'll be able to use the portal without issue because of Tia, or what's left of her. First, he has to get to the aperture somehow, of course. As a former paladin of Cassiopeia, getting to her portal shouldn't be a problem for him. That's what we thought, which is where our problem comes in. We know he's attempting this tonight, because of the transition between the astral moon and the diamond moon and all that jazz. Which means we also have to get there very fast, but teleporting into the Forbidden Valley isn't exactly easy. It's weird natural magic makes it a hazard for any self-respecting wizard. You're basically guaranteed to teleport yourself into a tree. Even Baya can't help. We're a bit stuck. Got any ideas? I'm good at teleporting drinks, not people, so not exactly. Grace, you've been awfully quiet. Do you have an idea? I do. You do? Yes, but I knew you'd say no, so I decided to pitch it to the innkeeper instead. Please, go ahead. Remember those spells Hex found? Weren't exactly that many to remember. Can't wait to try out that soul-binding one. Don't. You'd risk your own soul. I meant the teleportation spell. The one that can teleport you anywhere? That one. The one that could kill you? I think I could use it to teleport a small group right into the Astral Sea. Somewhere close to the portal so that they can find Quasar easily. That would be great. No, it wouldn't. Well, Did you miss the part where it could kill you? With my modifications, it has a whole 30% chance of succeeding without stripping me of all of my mana. That's a 70% chance of death! We don't have a lot of options. This isn't an option. We'll find something else. Another way. And with what time exactly, Hexagon? Ooh, she used his full name. Fine. Sure. I'll cast it then. Don't be silly. You're awful at teleportation. Plus, it's more stable if the caster stays behind. And you're a much better fighter than I am. They'll need you at the aperture. And I need you alive. I won't be alive if we don't stop him. I know what I'm doing. Just trust me. Absolutely not. I won't let you sacrifice yourself for some useless heroics. Either I cast it or we don't do this at all. Why do I have to keep picking sides? Stop! I want to stop picking sides. Let me be the sideliner. Dang it. I mean, it is Grace's choice, and you're just trying to throw a fit. Like, come on. Yeah, this is Grace's choice, though. She makes stupid choices sometimes. Wow. She's too good for this world, and it'll kill her. So you'd rather shape her into something she's not. Don't you love her the way she is? More than anything, her heart is what makes her so special. Then let her keep it. If we want to save this world, this is the only way. What's the point of this world if it doesn't have you in it? Hex. That world without me that you fear so much, it will exist one day, no matter what we do today. But it doesn't exist right now, and yet you keep acting like it does. I'm just worried. You're so worried about the possibility of me being gone, you treat me like I'm already a ghost. The time we have, it's so short. I know, I'm scared too. I don't want to die either. But I can't miss out on living, pretending I'm already dead. You'll have plenty of time to mourn me when I'm gone. Right now, I need you to love me. Oh. I'm so scared, Grace. I don't know what I'll do without you. You'll figure it out. You won't be alone, even when I'm gone. It's not the same. I know, but let's focus on what you can do right now, while we're still together. We can save this world, if you'll only let me live. I guess. I can't keep you in a glass case like some sort of spell scroll. Even though I come up with great riddles to trap you with. I'd solve them instantly. Ha! You would. Do you really want to do this? I can help. This is how I can help. You don't have to. I want to. Let her be her own person, Hex. She deserves this. You'll make it out of this, okay? You have to promise me you'll make it out of this. I promise. And then we'll have a tea party. So many of them. I love you, Gracie. I love you too, Hexie. Oh. Alright, I guess if anyone can handle casting a crazy, powerful, probably cursed teleportation spell, it's you. Or the innkeeper, but I guess you're not volunteering. Unless you all want to be permanently transformed into drinks, I can't help you. Good thing you got me then, to cast this spell and to keep you company afterwards. I'll stay behind to ensure the spell's stability and improve the chances of keeping my promise. Sounds lovely. Would you like a drink to assist you in the matter? No, I think I'd like to keep my destiny in my own hands today, but thank you. Let's do this then. Before I change my mind and lock you in a tower. I'd like to see you try. Alright, are you ready? Ready as I'll ever be. You better keep her well hydrated while I'm gone, innkeeper. Will do. See you soon. You can count on that. It looks like everyone else is ready to get going as well. So shush and let me concentrate. Oh, she's doing the thing. You good? Did it work? I think so. They all disappeared. That was... Oh, dragons, that was close. It felt like all my insides were being pulled out through my nose. But you made it. But we made it. Can't believe I've got the greatest witch of our generation hanging out in my tavern. It's what the best innkeeper of our generation deserves. Speaking of which, can I get a drink? Something that'll make my brain feel like it's melting a little less. Of course, Grace. You can have as many drinks as you want. Do you think making endless drinks might distract us from worrying too much? It might. I'll consider it then, but let's start with one. Let's. Alright, they're off. We're making a drink for Grace. Oh. With intelligence, of course. So we could either make her a peak sunrise, sparkling nebula. Oh, want to see if Undu's gonna sparkle, so I'm gonna make a sparkling nebula. Again, just keeping it simple during the hard times. Hey, he sparkle! He's such a good boy. Yes, you are. I wouldn't doubt that Ondu would like eat everything, because he does drink everything, including my bottomless vials. So, ding ding. Emergency anti-brain melting liquid, just for you. Thank you. I think my synapses are putting themselves back together. And now, we wait. We wait. Thank you for keeping me company. Anytime. Quincy! My dude! Oh my gosh, we got Quincy with us right at the end. Oh, hello. Hello there. I'm Quincy. Grace, nice to meet you. Likewise. What are you two up to? Looks like a whole lot of worrying. Waiting, mostly. Mind if I wait with you? No, not at all. Then let us wait together. Joint forces. The Wake, the final lullaby. This has to be it. The first of the dying moon. Oh, where's Quincy? I guess it's just Grace, but that's fine. Good morning, Grace. You're up early. Couldn't sleep? Not really. I kept waking up every hour or so. Eventually, I just gave up, and I heard you moving around down here, so I gladly accept your company while I clean. Thank you. Fable! And everybody! We're back, Innkeeper! Welcome back, adventurers. You're practically beaming, Fable. That's just the sun. Have you been outside today? The good weather seemed antithetical to my worrying. Ha! Mind if I set down my sword, or will that make you worry more? Please, feel free. Oh. Look at it! Look at it, so sparkly, so pretty. I'm hesitant to ask, but your smile seemed to indicate there's good news to be told. It's safe to say we'll have many more opportunities to try your drinks. And everyone made it back safe and sound? Yes. We're all okay. Yay! Actually, Hex and Voy are outside safe and loud. We should probably put a stop to their antics soon. Voy might explode for real if Hex keeps up his teasing. Innkeeper, I'll go. No need to wait around any longer. Thank you. Someone has to go to poor Voy's rescue. Someone who's ready to give Hex a taste of his own medicine? Perhaps. For now, I just want to tackle my brother into a hug. I'm so glad to see you safe, everyone. Let's catch up later. They did the thing! I believe victory drinks are in order? Perhaps later, when I've calmed down a bit more. I'll wait until the feast. Feast? I think that's what people do after saving the world, no? We gotta celebrate. Don't say you're pulling out, Innkeep. I'd appreciate a drink. Anything in particular you're craving? Something soft, please. Like a shield that protects you from harm, or a hug that makes you feel safe. Got it. Oh, they did the thing. Let's go. Now, I will go ahead and spoil this. Supposedly there are 3 endings to this game, and they all add up to how your quests go based off the drinks you give your patrons. I did do some research into this. I did not look into the spoilers of what happened, but I did look into that there were endings and what the conditions were. So, I think we actually got the best one because almost 80% or more of our quests had good outcomes. I think we only really had one that had the less than best outcome, because some of them can turn out pretty terrible no matter what, depending if it's worse or less worse. But then there's also neutral, where it's like, you know, you had an equal amount of good and bad outcomes, and then the worst outcome, which was like, you know, a lot of their quests failing or other stuff like that. So I think we got the best outcome, which is nice. But let's give him another first snow. I'll give him another first snow, since it's all nice and cuddly. And it's a honey flower, but I still argue that that looks like a snowflake, so that's pretty appropriate. And another shot of agility. And then 3 things of defense. There we go. They're back on due. They did the thing, don't you know? Aren't you proud? A mighty drink for a mighty good friend. And made by a mighty good innkeeper. This is just what I needed. Thanks. Alright, I believe it's time for my story. It'll be the best you've heard from me yet. Our tale begins not so far from here, in the capital with the other group. They're safe, the roots and the people. Local government didn't believe them about the danger, so it was a close call. I think I'm gonna need some water if we're gonna get a big story like this. But it sounded like they got everyone out in time. Then all that was left was just us kicking some undead butt. Kyle said they had a lot of help too, like he and Countess Evelyn decimated a whole section of the undead army all by themselves. The Wyvern Chimera defended the city gates together with the Hydra and the Gwyver. The Banshee and the Mari Morgan answered by his call and scared some of the skeletons to dust. A powerful wizard and a bunch of familiars and former familiars showed up with claws and fire at the ready. These are all the people that they helped on the quests! That's so cool! Scully convinced the Everbloom Archive Bleak Stalkers to come to our aid. After they heard about Tia, they were furious. Even Neil's parents showed up with a group of retired adventurers from Borkum. Uncle Draken came by and helped too, together with the werewolf settlement from the Ashen Grove. I was glad to hear the old fool still got some guts in him. Sounds eventful, but the team won. They won. Not to toot our own horn, but so did we. It was exhilarating and also exhausting. Grace managed to teleport us exactly where we needed to go. The Astral Sea was unlike anything I'd ever seen before. Tia had told me so much about it, but that didn't prepare me for how mesmerizing it was. On one side were the sprawling nebulas of Cassiopeia, and on the other, a portal of swirling dark blood leading back to the aperture. Below our feet, the ancient blood of the first vampire stained a river of the Astral Sea a deep red. It would lead us directly to Quasar and an undead Tia. But the water was deep, too deep for us to wade through. There wasn't exactly any boats around. So Clay called out to the sun humpback whale for help. It showed up in a shower of stardust and allowed us to ride on its back. Once we got closer, we didn't have to wait very long before being bombarded by spells. I made sure to answer with my own volley of arrows blazing with dragon fire. Still, the fight was tough. Having the sun whale there definitely helped, even though Quasar banished it whenever it got too close. Both Quasar and Tia barely gave us any time to breathe. Seeing her again, fighting for everything she used to despise, made me so angry. I let my fury guide me and managed to lead her away from Quasar. Her movements were less graceful in Undeath, and it looked like the water of the Astral Sea was clinging to her legs. I don't know what it was in the end, our voices calling out to her, being so close to Cassiopeia. But right before her weapon could swing down once more, instead of pain, I felt her healing magic. And she smiled. She managed to shake off Quasar's control to help her friends. Meanwhile, we were battling Quasar. Fable and I were leading the charge. I got in his face as much as possible. While Fable swooped in any time things got dicey with some well-shot arrows. I was barely able to keep track of Fable's movement with their movement speed, but I didn't need to. Knew they'd had my back. Hex kept Kesar from concentrating on any annoying spell for too long with the barrage of fireballs. You guessed it. And Void didn't hesitate to heal and buff us. Never really understood music fanatics, but after that, I might have to check out one of his shows. Eventually, the tide of battle started turning in our favor. While we had each other as backup, Quasar was alone. And he was starting to get real tired. That was our opportunity. I called on the flame deep inside me and let several pillars of dragonfire cut off any escape routes. I realized what Fable was trying to do. Suddenly, all the doubt about worthiness that had been eaten at me during the fight disappeared. I wasn't doing this for honor or to gain the dragon's favor. Glory laughs in the face of legacy. Worthiness was never something that could be given to me. It was something for me to grasp. All I had to do was walk forward and protect my people. And at that moment, I did. My slash struck true. Quasar looked neither enraged nor shocked, just tired. Then he dropped to the ground and stayed down. I felt a bit sad for him. I didn't. Quasar made his choices, whether we like it or not. And we earned that victory. We did. All we could do was stare at the battlefield, barely realizing it was over, when we heard Clay crying. We turned to see him and Tia hugging as her body started to dissolve in bright speckles of starlight. The light eventually gathered in a bright sphere above our heads. Then, it steadily rose into the dark distance, where it became brighter and brighter. She became a star. I couldn't believe it. My Tia became a star. And she won't be alone up there. Together, her and the sun whale will guide all who are lost through the night. Knowing that, it might give me the strength to live on like she would have wanted. Trust me, even if it feels impossible, one day the sun will rise and the happiness she gave you will outweigh the grief. I look forward to that day, Innkeeper. Until then, I'll just keep on trying. There's still so many wonders in this world. With her watching over me, I want to see them all. And one day I might get to tell her all about them. That sounds wonderful. I think all of us feel a little bit better with her up there. Couldn't agree more. So that means everyone should be able to get here sometime soon then. Huh? For the feast. Ha! Didn't think you'd actually agree. I can't think of a better way to spend an evening than celebrating with all of my friends. Maybe even tonight? We'll see when everyone is at their rest. We have time now thanks to you all. I won't run out of drinks as long as you don't run out of stories. And you'll have to tell this epic tale a few more times before I grow tired of it. I'd like nothing more than that, Innkeeper. Party time! Who wants some barbecue? We did it! Oh, man. Oh, is this Fable singing? Oh. And there's Boy and there's Grace tackling Hex. That's so cute. But yay, that was so good. The star, Tia and the whale. Oh, and there's Clay and I can't tell who that is. Gosh, Clay is tall. Oh, and does he have a Melly on his shoulders? Oh, then that's... Well, no, that's not a... It couldn't have been Neil. I like how everybody's just going on with their lives. Well, there's Scully. And Archie writing his books. And Grace. And Clay again. But that was so good. I'm really pleased with that. Like everything ended well, I think. So I think that did really well. Oh, is Grace making Boy and Kyle new outfits? And there's Una. Oh, and she's probably helping them make new outfits. That's adorable. Oh, And of course, you can't see Kyle in a mirror because he's a vampire. Oh, Scully's helping too. Oh man, I love this little epilogue that we're getting. That like everybody continues to interact and be a part of everybody's lives. That's so cool. Oh, Fable. And Fable, Lynn, Melly, and Neil. And then Hex and Grace. It's so charming. And again, this is a good song too. Good old Quincy. Oh, everybody's so happy looking.
Drink awaiting me at the tavern. Oh, if
I just want to enjoy the song, but this is so good. Oh, look at the party. Oh, wow, Baya's tall. Oh, did Rhea win? She had to have won with her sword. How sweet though. Oh gosh, they've got a lot of Kickstarters to go through. Oh, Clay and Grace and Andu. Sorry, I'm just pointing everybody out because I like seeing everything. Oh, and Jade's joining in too. That's good. But yeah, what did everybody think of that? Like, we've still got the DLC to go through that was just recently released. That, again, thanks to Gentle Troll and all them for sending us the codes and future friends. Oh my gosh, did they make a little house? Did they make a little doll house? That's too cute. Everybody just keeps working hard. Oh, I guess they're helping to fix up the tavern. It does look a little worse for wear from all the stuff it went through, so. That's a lot of Kickstarters. My word. Andu's just chilling with the cats and the dragons and the animals. And everybody else is carrying on their daily lives. Oh, man. Well, I think the rest of this is going to be the Kickstarters, though I do still really like seeing all the shenanigans everybody's up to. It's too cute. Alright. But that was so good! Like, oh man. Oh man. I'm really happy with how that turned out though. Like, when everybody started getting so angry and everybody was, you know, figuring out about Tia dying, Fable was still missing. Like, those were some good twists that they came up with and such, especially for like having Tia, I guess, redeemed in a way and becoming a star instead of remaining an undead. Though I kind of wonder, I think there actually was a secret ending, like if somehow we had done some things in such a certain way, and then when we talked to Quasar that one night, like I think there was actually a way to like, I forget what it was, but oh man. But y'all probably have to find that for yourselves. I won't spoil anything. I'll probably look up what happens myself with that for the secret ending, but there is like a secret ending aside from the 3, whether it was good, neutral, or bad and stuff. But that was Tavern Talk. That was the base game and such. But oh man. But yeah, yep. That was Tavern Talk, the base game, but we'll see you guys in the DLC.